In LA this week,
Go Kings, go! Go Kings, go!
Another win and another big celebration downtown for the LA Kings and their loyal fans. We take you there.
Reward money being offered for information leading to the whereabouts of a missing toddler who police say was abducted by his father here in Boyle Heights. I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how Los Angeles is being recognized for being America's most successfully reinvented metropolis.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. We start this week's episode with a big celebration as the LA Kings win the Stanley Cup for the second time in 3 years. We will also go to the mayor's celebratory comments that have stirred some controversy. But first, we go to Rasha Goel as fans took to the streets of downtown for a massive block party in honor of the Kings.
Crowds lined the mile-long parade route cheering and chanting to celebrate the LA Kings' victory over the New York Rangers.
We got to continue to do our part, and you guys are doing awesome on your part. I just want to thank you all.
It used to be Kings would have a little success, everybody'd get on the bandwagon, and then they'd get knocked out. Now, they're used to the Stanley Cup parade, they're used to seeing the cup, and so many more fans are enjoying Kings hockey, and it's great to see after all those years.
This is the second Stanley Cup victory in 3 years for the Kings, who won the NHL championship in 2012. This year, the team won in a 3-2 double overtime.
It was intense. It was very intense, but at the same time, very enjoyable. And I think, obviously, the outcome is great, and we're enjoying it right now.
I sat perched on our couch, and I actually stood up every time we ended up winning in overtime. I stood on our couch and got yelled at. So, very nervous, very heart racing.
I loved every second of it. Most games were close games, and it was all exciting.
After the parade, fans filled Staples Center for a Kings rally.
It's a great team in the classic sense of a team. Sure, we've got some superstars, but there's no one or two that shines way above the rest. They really pull together, and we earned every single game, every single bit of the series.
Our goal going in next year won't be any different. Our goal will be to make the playoffs and do as well as we can in our division and then go from there.
But for now, they're going to enjoy the sweet victory and sharing of the 34.5-pound silver cup. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
And now to the mayor's exuberant comments at the parade, in which he used a word not suitable for television as he addressed the crowd of fans and Kings players at Staples Center during the victory rally. Basically, the mayor, in all the excitement, said, "This is a big expletive day," and that garnered all kinds of reactions online. Which takes us to this week in tweets. The mayor echoed on Twitter what he said in the stadium, but this time using an acronym. There are a few rules in politics. One is never swear, but this is a BFD. Eric Garcetti welcomes the Stanley Cup to LA. In response to the curse word controversy, one Twitter user tweeted, "What's wrong with the mayor having a good time?" Meanwhile, another tweeted, "Don't mind the context of how it was used, but with kids in the audience, not the right place." At his first public appearance after the Kings parade, the mayor had this to say to the cameras when asked to explain his actions that day.
Look, it was a special day. It was an enthusiastic day. And all of us, I think, were incredibly proud of these Kings. And I got a little carried away with my enthusiasm, but I think hockey fans understand it.
When asked if his comments were planned, he answered no. We turn now to a story that requires your help. After weeks with very few leads, the city of Los Angeles offers a $50,000 reward in hopes of finding a missing 2-year-old boy. Gil Reyes reports from Boyle Heights.
Holding back tears, the family of a missing toddler makes a plea at the LAPD's Hollenbeck station.
That's the only thing we're asking, for the community to help us find him.
The city of LA is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to 2-year-old Edwin Vargas. Police say he was abducted by his father, Abraham Vargas, in this Boyle Heights neighborhood on May 23rd, triggering a statewide Amber Alert. The boy's mother says the kidnapping happened in front of her apartment as she was placing Edwin in her minivan.
She was pushed out of the way, and Abraham took the vehicle with the child inside.
Police eventually found the minivan, but father and son were gone. The mother, Beatrice Perez, had filed a restraining order against Vargas, her ex-boyfriend, who may have been spotted in the Boyle Heights area in the past few weeks. He may have also changed his look, sporting a shaved head and a goatee these days.
Any little bit of information will help. No matter how small you may think that little piece of information is, you never know if it could lead us to crack the case.
Police say the suspect, Abraham Vargas, is also wanted on an unrelated charge of unlawful sex with a minor. If you know anything, you're urged to call LAPD Hollenbeck detectives. In Boyle Heights, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Again, there is a $50,000 reward being offered in this case. Detectives at the Hollenbeck station can be reached at 323-342-8978. Our next story, workers without any recourse at work when they get sick. It's a growing problem that Councilmember Curran Price calls a public safety issue. The councilmember set out on a tour by van to find out more. Anna Marcos was there.
It's being called the Six City Tour as Councilmember Curran Price sets out on a fact-finding mission in South LA. Workers say the number of retail stores offering low-income wages has increased in the area, and that most of them do not pay sick days, or they penalize those who take sick time out. That's what Fatima Valdez says happened to her father when he had to skip work to visit the ER.
His job worker called him and they told him, well, if you don't come right now, we're going to look for a replacement for you. So they practically fired him.
The tour stopped off at a couple of wellness clinics and the supermarket, which many of the workers claim exploits them. Martin Ayala has worked in the meat department at the El Supermarket for 5 years, but with only 32 hours a week, he has yet to be offered full-time hours or sick pay.
We don't have the benefits to work sick leave, and that means we have to get forced to work sick. We handle food, and that food get contaminated.
Certainly for those workers, it's a big issue. A broader issue, I think, is the impact on the community and on families. Health and welfare is an important quality of life issue.
One doctor at St. John's Clinic says this next case could have been avoided if the worker had been allowed to take a sick day and see a doctor.
She had fever, her infection had traveled up to her kidneys, and we had to send her to the emergency room.
Stores like Walmart, another chain on the workers' target list, offer 2 sick days a year, but only for full-time workers, and the first day off is unpaid. The El Supermarket does not guarantee a full 40 hours for full-time workers. Price plans to look into other businesses in the area to see how prevalent the problem is. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The tour was organized in part by the Shop Well LA Coalition, a collection of local groups that hold grocery chains accountable to the neighborhoods they serve. If you're planning to remodel a bathroom or a kitchen, weekends are your enemy. It's when permitting and inspection offices shut down. But as Yana Kay explains, an expanded city service is making life easier for homeowners.
The Hughes family is enjoying a relaxing Saturday afternoon at home. And while they're taking it easy, city inspectors are busy examining their bathroom down the hall that's under construction, making sure it's to code.
Yeah, we've already approved the plumbing.
City inspectors are now available to do inspections for remodels or construction projects on Saturdays.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, increasing customer service so that people like me, who I work all week, I can actually be home and not take off time during the week to come in for the inspector.
The idea is simple. City inspectors take a day off during the week to compensate for working on Saturdays.
I want to create kind of a small town feel in a big city. And that's what this does on a Saturday, to say, we serve you, not you serve us.
Inspections are required by the city whenever a homeowner is remodeling or doing any kind of construction.
Anytime you get a permit to do work on your house that covers installations that are covered up by wall materials or buried in the attic or underneath electrical, plumbing, mechanical, structural issues, they have to be inspected before the wall surfaces are replaced.
Mayor Eric Garcetti says there is no additional cost to the city, and he expects to have about 120 inspections each Saturday. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
The Los Angeles Fire Department welcomes a new rank of firefighters. Rasha Goel has more on the new recruits and what makes them so special.
Bryce Gutierrez is among 58 new Los Angeles Fire Department recruits. Not only that, he was also honored as the overall top recruit.
Started off as a cadet year, and this is where I wanted to be. Since I was 15 years old, Los Angeles Fire Department is the best fire department in the nation.
Once they pass the selection process, recruits are put through rigorous training over a 20-week period.
They have a series of didactic or classroom lessons, which are pretty intense. They have a very rigorous physical regimen. You'll see today some of the demonstrations of the results of what they've learned.
You're getting up early in the morning, and you're putting your boots on, just doing hard work, and it's just longevity. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it.
Due to budget constraints, this is the first new graduating class in 5 years. The last set of recruits was brought in 2009.
You are the first class to join a department that is now dedicated to the best data, the latest technology, and constant assessment to creating a dynamic information-based approach that can cut our response times and improve our firefighting capability.
These recruits are the ones that will get us from good to great and from great to outstanding. So this is the future of the fire department.
But there were no female firefighters at this graduation ceremony. Hopes are that will change in upcoming graduating classes. In Panorama City, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The LAFD has been under criticism for its recruiting process, which is currently under review. It's a project that will safeguard LA's water for many years to come. The LADWP gave the media one last tour of its massive Headworks Reservoir construction project before it closes it off to the public. Anna Marcos brings us an inside view.
Take a good look around. It's the last time you'll get to see inside this future reservoir without scuba gear on. The first of 2 of the LADWP's Headworks reservoirs will soon be closed up and filled with water. The 2 Headworks reservoirs north of Griffith Park are the DWP's response to new federal water safety regulations.
The 2 reservoirs that we had in service, Ivanhoe and Silver Lake, they're open water reservoirs. And so because they're open water reservoirs, they're subject to contamination in terms of, you have birds flying over, landing on the reservoirs and such. And so because of the tightened regulations, these are actually large tanks that will be buried, and it's much better in terms of the water quality.
This East Reservoir will be the size of 2 football fields. The walls and the slab underneath us will be 4 feet thick. And once it's done, the entire thing will be covered with dirt. It will be underground, and a park will be built above it.
The water is actually going to come from our North Hollywood pump station. And right now it's going to come down the old reservoir conduit, and it's going to come into the site through some piping, and then it's going to make its way inside of this reservoir. From here, straight to the faucet.
It's anticipated this will add about 3,000 jobs to the economy at about $500 million a year. So this is a big boost for the city of Los Angeles.
Once the East Reservoir is completed later this year, construction will begin on the West Reservoir. The parkland's restoration will take several more years. It's a project that will bring better water quality, more recreation opportunities, a better environment, and more jobs to the City of Angels. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The Parkland's restoration phase of the project will be part of the LA River Revitalization Plan. The reservoirs will serve all of LA, but primarily the areas of downtown and near the zoo. New federal grants could equal a big boost for aerospace and manufacturing in our region. As Gilreas reports, Southern California receives special consideration to compete for money thanks to an effort co-led by USC.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti congratulating his partners at the University of Southern California. They've secured rights to compete for grants that could be a home run for Southern California aerospace and manufacturing.
We're there at the plate, and we're swinging for the fences. And today's announcement is the result of us being loud and clear in Washington that we're serious about jobs here in Los Angeles.
President Obama is setting aside $1.3 billion to kickstart aerospace and manufacturing in the U.S. His office has selected Southern California to be among 12 U.S. regions eligible to compete for grants. The selection follows months of lobbying from the office of LA Mayor Eric Garcetti and USC.
I'm glad we won.
Yeah.
Now we can really get on with the work we all want to do.
The City of LA and USC are part of a consortium made up of over 80 organizations, universities, businesses, government. stretching from Ventura to San Diego counties. Partners like Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena could apply for money to enhance robotic space exploration, while LA community colleges could use the grants to boost workforce training programs in advanced manufacturing, something the mayor strongly supports.
I want to make sure that Los Angeles is ready for the jobs and the economy of the future.
In hopes of taking the region's job opportunities to the moon and beyond. At USC, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Other regions selected to compete for grants include Chicago, Milwaukee, and Portland, Oregon. And the mayor is also setting his sights on making Los Angeles a leader in the tech field. The city kicked off its first Internet Technology Forum at City Hall. Anna Marcos has more.
City leaders are inviting cyber nerds to start hacking.
Not long ago, the term hacker held a wholly negative kind of connotation. Here today we are in City Hall and we're encouraging you to hack. Your job is also to bother us, to prod us, to poke us, to disrupt us, and to shake things up.
This was the first ever Tech LA 2014 forum. As part of the event, Mayor Eric Garcetti hosted a so-called hackathon. The city is opening up its government data to Angelenos with the goal of partnering with them to create new technologies.
We know Los Angeles is the best platform for innovation, the highest rate of entrepreneurs in the country, more than 1 out of 200 residents. We know it's the most diverse place on the face of the earth, the best geography, the best weather, the most incredible intellectual and creative capital. But now it's time for government to do its part.
Think about the hundreds or even thousands of companies who are using open government data today. You've got companies like Zillow and Trulia, who are helping you make better informed choices as you buy your home.
Students work together to come up with functional apps for everything from improving their communities to encouraging more civic engagement. Prizes for best apps ranged from $1,000 to $3,000, awarded by such sponsors as Google and the I Am Angel Foundation.
We want to make sure that our young people see their potential in technology careers, that they're not just playing games, but they're coding games. They're not just on Snapchat, but they're building the next Snapchat.
We need you. This city needs your talent, this city needs your imagination, and this city needs your creativity.
LA was reportedly the birthplace of the internet. City leaders are now doing everything they can to keep it the leader in the cyberspace frontier. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
In case you're wondering, it was at UCLA in 1969 where it was believed that a student typed the first message on what was the precursor to the modern internet. Luxury lofts, new restaurants, and public transportation are all helping to reinvent downtown LA into a thriving and livable community. Rasha Goel takes us to the Reinventors Award, where some of those responsible for the transformation were recognized.
It's taken over a decade, but downtown Los Angeles has gone from gritty to glitzy. With new housing, entertainment facilities, and more public transportation options, downtown was recognized by Dwell magazine as America's most successfully reinvented metropolis.
Downtown really was not a place that everybody thought, oh, I can't wait to move downtown. Like you would say, can't wait to move to downtown San Francisco or Chicago or New York or Boston. Well, now you can say that.
4 honorees, including the LA City Council, were recognized for their contribution in reinventing downtown LA. Faye Washington, president and CEO of YWCA Greater Los Angeles, was honored as well. The new 7-story YWCA building on Olive Street serves 1,200 disadvantaged youth, providing not only a place to live, but schooling and job placement.
My dream came true. Just to see those kids walk in and out of that facility is just a pure joy to me.
Honoree Klein Financial Corporation was recognized for bringing upscale housing to downtown. Robert Klein's company develops luxury apartments such as this one in downtown Los Angeles called Met Lofts and provides an affordable component, giving everyone an opportunity to be able to live in downtown LA.
We reserve at least 20% of our units to provide a step up to families working to secure gracious living.
And there's no question, downtown is the place to be. Officials say in 1999, there were 18,000 people living downtown. Today, there are 54,000 and growing. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Carol Schatz, CEO of the Central City Association, was named Mother of Reinvention for bringing together individuals and companies to turn downtown into a vital and thriving community. Closing a loophole in the city's attempt to shut down illegal pot shops. $50,000 in reward money is paid out to a tipster in a murder case, and Congressman Henry Waxman gets a proper send-off in City Hall. These stories and more in CityBeat.
It appears that a list of potentially illegal medical marijuana dispensaries operating in the city was not shared with those in the city responsible for shutting down such shops. The issue was discussed during a city council committee meeting recently. The list in question belongs to the Office of Finance. It's of pot shops registered to pay taxes to the city. Out of the nearly 1,000 dispensaries on the list, more than 800 registered with the city after the September 2007 cutoff date approved by voters under Prop D, aimed at limiting the city's pot shops. Councilman Paul Krikorian has asked finance officials to provide the list to the police department and the city attorney's office for enforcement purposes. The city council often offers reward money in hopes of solving murders, kidnappings, hit and runs, and other crimes. But seldom do we hear of that reward money being claimed. But Councilmember Bernard Parks' office announced that a $50,000 reward payment was awarded to someone who came forward with a tip on a suspect that eventually helped solve the 2011 murder of Alonzo Esther. The suspect, Dennis Brown, has been sentenced to 16 years in state prison for the killing. Parks released a statement saying, "The awarding of this reward proves that if you know anything regarding a crime, please call the authorities. These rewards do get paid out." Lovers of public transportation, listen up. The Board of Airport Commissioners has approved new Flyaway bus service to and from LAX for Santa Monica and Hollywood. The buses from Santa Monica will be nonstop to LAX, located at the Santa Monica Civic Center. Service is expected to begin mid-July. The Hollywood Flyaway service will be located on the east side of Vine Street, half a block south of Hollywood Boulevard, and will make one stop in both directions at the Metro Expo Light Rail Station at La Brea. The Hollywood service is expected to begin in mid-September. One-way fares for both Flyaway bus routes will be $8. The LA City Council honored retiring Congressmember Henry Waxman during a special council presentation at City Hall. Waxman is completing his 20th term in Congress. To recognize him for his contributions as a public servant, council members Paul Koretz, Mike Bonin, and Bob Blumenfield named Friday, June 13, 2014, as Henry Waxman Day in the city of Los Angeles.
I am a born, bred, lifelong resident of LA, and I've had the great distinction of being able to represent our city in Washington, D.C., so this recognition means a lot to me. And to have a Henry Waxman Day at City Hall is a great tribute.
Cutting down on pollution, finding funding for transportation projects in LA, and the Affordable Care Act are a few of what Waxman says are his proudest accomplishments.
Two graduating students recently received a big surprise. This after surviving a fatal bus crash on their way to Tora College. Rasha Goel has more.
For Banning High School students Karen Duarte and Jonathan Gutierrez, this graduation is one they may never forget. The two are survivors of the Humboldt bus crash in April of this year that left 10 people dead, including 5 high school seniors from the Southland. Students were on their way to a college tour at Humboldt State University when their bus collided head-on with a FedEx delivery truck on Interstate 5 in Orland, California.
Thankfully, they survived, and did not let the crash impede their goal of going to college.
Duarte and Gutierrez think they're receiving their diplomas, but they're leaving with a surprise from Councilmember Joe Buscaino and the nonprofit organization Sharefest.
We are making a commitment to you and offering and presenting with them a scholarship of $5,000 each so that you ensure that you fulfill your dream.
The audience responds with cheers and applause. Both students will be attending Humboldt State University in the fall. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
In this week's list of things to do, an early Independence Day event, Latino and Asian food fusion, and an exotic animals show for the whole family.
Kick off the Independence Day holiday early at the Port of LA with a visit to the 6th annual Cars and Stripes Forever car show on Friday, June 27th from 5 to 10 p.m. It takes place at Swinford Street and Harbor Boulevard in San Pedro. In addition to more than 100 classic cars on display, the free event will feature live music, a beer garden, food trucks, free rides on the red car, and dancing water shows at the Fanfare fountains. Fireworks start at 9:20 p.m. Go to lawaterfront.org for details. Food Fusion takes center stage on Saturday, June 28th at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, otherwise known as La Plaza. Asian influence in Latin American cuisine dating back to the 1560s will be examined by Art Bites' Maite Gomez Rejon in Chino Latino Food Fusion from noon to 3 p.m. at La Plaza, which is located at 501 North Main Street downtown. Participants will have an opportunity to sample foods and take part in a docent-led tour of Chinese American Museum's LA Heat exhibit, which examines the impact of sriracha and tapatio hot sauces in Los Angeles. Admission to Food Fusion is free for CAM and La Plaza members, $5 per person for all others. Go to lapca.org for details. And on Sunday, June 29th, the Skirball Cultural Center is holding its Zoo to You event in its family amphitheater. You and your kids will get to sing along with performers, dance to music from around the world, and rub wings, scales, and claws with live exotic animals. There is one show at noon and another one at 2 p.m. Children must be accompanied by an adult. The Skirball is located at 2701 North Sepulveda Boulevard. Information on ticket prices can be found by going to skirball.org. And that's a look at some upcoming things to do.
If you're looking to keep your kids busy this summer, your local pool may be the perfect solution as a free swim program gets underway. Yana Kay reports.
For these kids, swimming is one of the best things about summer. And to help keep them in the pool, Kaiser Permanente has kicked off its 9th year of Operation Splash,
where we can have swimming available to kids, where they can come and exercise, where they can come and have fun with their friends, and it's just a great way to spend summer.
Kaiser Permanente Councilmember Mike Bonin and Department of Recreation and Parks officials announced the free program at Stoner Park Pool in West LA.
That many don't realize that this department was really founded on two things. One was playgrounds and the other was swimming. And they've got a great tradition of aquatics here in our department.
As part of Operation Splash, Kaiser Permanente gave the Department of Recreation and Parks a $265,000 grant to provide free swim lessons for children and adults at Los Angeles City pools. Experts say activities like swimming help kids stay entertained while helping fight childhood obesity.
That's so important for kids to have fun while they're being physically active.
Kaiser Permanente officials say they are committed to promoting healthy living for all LA residents, and Operation Splash is the perfect way to meet that goal. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
The pools will be opened through Labor Day weekend. And that's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. A reminder that you could catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll leave you now with more sights and sounds from the King's Victory Parade downtown. See you back here next week for more of LA This Week.